Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Mass Effect Codex entries. When we left off, we found out
the
about
Citadel is
Shut up. And all this other stuff. We've got all this other stuff down. So let's get right on to Humanity and Systems Alliance.
The Systems Alliance is an independent supranational government representing the interests of humanity as a whole. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of all extrasolar colonies and stations. The Alliance grew out of the various national space programs as a matter of practicality. Sol's planets had been explored and exploited through piecemeal national efforts. The expense of colonizing entire new solar systems could not be met by any one country. With humans knowing that alien contact was inevitable, there was enough political will to jointly fund an international effort. Still, the Alliance was often disregarded by those on Earth until the First Contact War. While the national governments dithered and bickered over who should lead the effort to liberate Shanxi, the Alliance fleet struck decisively. Post-war public approval gave the Alliance the credibility to establish its own parliament and become the galactic face of humanity.
Wow, that's good.
The Mako infantry fighting vehicle was designed for the System Alliance's frigates. Though the interior is cramped, an M35 is small enough to be carried in the cargo bay and easily deployed on virtually any world. With its turreted 155mm mass accelerator and coaxially mounted machine gun, the Mako can provide a fire team with weapon support as well as mobility. Since Alliance Marines may be required to fight on any world, the Mako is environmentally sealed and equipped with microthrusters for use on low-gravity planetoids. The Mako is powered by a sealed hydrogen-oxygen fuel cell and includes a small Element Zero core. While not large enough to nullify the vehicle's mass, the core can reduce it enough to be safely airdropped. When used in conjunction with thrusters, it also allows the Mako to extricate itself from difficult terrain.
The Mako! I haven't tried controlling it on here, but on the Xbox, a lot of the time it did not listen to me, so I'm not really looking forward to running around with it. Alright, weapons, armor, and equipment.
Combat hard suits use a dual-layer system to protect the wearer. The inner layer consists of fabric armor with kinetic padding. Areas that don't need to be flexible, such as the chest or shins, are reinforced with sheets of lightweight ablative ceramic. The outer layer consists of automatically generated kinetic barriers. Objects traveling above a certain speed will trigger the barrier's reflex system and be deflected, provided there is enough energy left in the shield's power cell. Armored hard suits are sealable to protect the wearer from extremes of temperature and atmosphere. Standard equipment includes an onboard mini-frame and a communications, navigation, and sensing suite. The mini-frame is designed to accept and display data from a weapon's smart targeting system to make it easier to locate and eliminate enemies.
Isn't that useful? I wish I had one of those. Nobody would mess with me.
Kinetic barriers, more commonly called shields, provide protection against most mass accelerator weapons. Whether on a starship or a soldier's suit of armor, the basic principle remains the same. Kinetic barriers are repulsive mass effect fields, projected from tiny emitters. These shields safely deflect small objects traveling at rapid velocities. This affords protection from bullets and other dangerous projectiles, but still allows the user to sit down without knocking away their chair. The shielding afforded by kinetic barriers does not protect against extremes of temperature, toxins, or radiation.
Oh, that would be nice to have a shield against toxins. Seems useful.
Medigel is a common medicinal salve used by paramedics, EMTs, and military personnel. It combines several useful applications: a local anesthetic, disinfectant, and clotting agent all in one. Once applied, the gel is designed to grip tight to flesh until subjected to a frequency of ultrasound. It is sealable against liquids, most notably blood, as well as contaminants and gases. The gel is a genetically engineered bioplasm created by the CERTA Foundation, a medical technology megacorp based on Earth. Technically, Medigel violates Council laws against genetic engineering, but to date, it has proved far too useful to ban.
So, as long as you prove useful, you don't have to worry about your stuff getting banned. It's a good thing to teach our kids. Alright, player tutorials, don't care. Profile, alright. Born into a naval family, you spent your childhood on ships and stationed. I think I already know this. Alright, it's more in depth. Moved from posting to posting as your parents were reassigned. You enlisted in the Alliance military yourself on the day you turned 18. You were on shore leave at Elysium. Elysium. I'm just gonna call it Elysium. When the first wave of the Skillian Blitz struck, a massive coalition force of slavers, crime syndicates, and Batarian warlords attacked the human colony, determined to wipe it out. You rallied the civilian inhabitants, leading them in their desperate fight to hold off the invaders. When enemy troops broke through the colony's defenses, you single-handedly held them off and sealed the breach. After hours of brutal fighting, reinforcements finally arrived and the enemy broke ranks and fled. Because of your actions, Elysium was saved, and you were regarded throughout the Alliance as a true hero. Well, if somebody managed to hold off an entire attacking force, I'm imagining it was from like a narrow cavern or something. The Citadel is surrounded by a blue-tinted reflection nebula. The light in nebula is actually light from the Citadel scattered and reflected back at the station. At first, the Serpent Nebula was assumed to be made of microscopic construction debris. Prevailing theory holds that the Protheans used molecular nanotechnology to manufacture the incredibly durable materials used in the Citadel. But unlike other nebulae, the Serpent does not dissipate over time. Therefore, it must be replenished constantly. The current popular theory is the non-recyclable waste collected by the Citadel's keepers is somehow rendered down to the atomic or molecular level and ejected into the cloud. Thick nebula represents a navigation hazard. Beyond the relatively clear areas around the Citadel, electrical discharges are common. These are not blocked by kinetic barriers and can severely damage metal-framed starships. In addition, some dense knots of dust can overwhelm the repulsion of kinetic barriers on smaller ships. If such a vessel is moving fast enough at the time, the effects are similar to being hit by a sandblaster. Ow. Attempting to reach Citadel through open space navigation is unadvisable. The only safe approach is through the various mass relays that orbit it. Yeah, that would seem so. Statistics. Yeah, I don't care. I don't think anybody else cares. Yeah, unlikely. Timeline. Oh, wow. It's a really long timeline. I've only got 2 minutes left. I'll get through as much as I can, and then, you know, I'll cut it off and continue. 2069, Armstrong Outpost on Shackleton Crater becomes the first human to settle on Luna. It is formally founded on July 24th, the 100th anniversary of the first lunar landing. Lowell City, 2103. Lowell City and Eos Chasma becomes the first human settlement on Mars. Isn't that nice? 2137. Adful Ashland Energy Corporation demonstrates helium-3 fuel extraction from atmosphere of Saturn. 2142. Construction of Gagarin Station, Jump Zero, begins beyond the orbit of Pluto. 2148. Prospectors discover Prothean ruins at Promethae Planum on Mars. 2149. Translation of Prothean data leads humans to Charon Mass Relay. Systems Alliance founded to coordinate exploration and colonization of extrasolar worlds. And with 30 seconds left, I'm not going to go on to the next one. So thank you for watching this episode of Mass Effect Codex entries. I'll see you next time with the rest of this, and probably the ships and vehicles, maybe weapons and armor. Thanks for watching, please tune in again.